surge tracked slurs last night. What was it? Was it 100 and what was the final number? 113?
Yeah, 113.
But that was a low estimate because there were some he was.
No, yeah, we were being nice. We were being nice. So here's how we counted it. And y'all were watching. You probably noticed it when we were counting. If Joe Biden said something like, we got to go buy the country and we got to get it, we'd be like, okay, there's one or maybe two, depending on how heavy it was. But it really had to be incomprehensible. He'd have to say something like, we've got to determine when the flag goes up, and like, okay, this is a slur. But there were several words where he slurred, but we're like, well, we know what he said. Mm-hmm. So it's our flag. We'd be like, okay, he said flag. We get in the context, so we wouldn't count that. Yeah. I think we easily could have counted 150.
Yeah, and it was multiple per minute. I mean, there wasn't a stretch of time that he was just stumble for. I mean, anyone who's public speaking for a long time is going to make some kind of error. I'm not trying to be harsh.
That's fine. I mean,
multiple per minute is kind of ridiculous.
Is 30 acceptable?
No.
Well, it also
maybe 6 is when it becomes unacceptable for a president in State of the Union.
Well, it highlights, the special counsel report that said he wasn't mentally fit, right? And how here he is giving the State of the Union, not really. I think Republicans have set the bar so low for Joe Biden, so anything of him just going and actually, having a complete sentence is actually a positive for him. And that's kind of what we make our mistakes on, because we've been bashing Joe Biden, but so many Americans are not paying attention to every single slip that he's making. And that's what's, but the State of the Union yesterday was really, it was a campaign speech. I mean, the amount of times he was mentioning President Trump, the former president. But this is the radical left. They know that everything is on the line this November. So that's why they're going to go so aggressively using the government's power and the government institutions to go after their political enemies. And that's why they, his son died, and there's never been accountability for what happened in Afghanistan. And yet they go and charge him with a misdemeanor. But nothing with the Gaza protesters who actually, stood and
blocked the motorcade.
Blocked the motorcade. Nothing happened with that. But here, this father who yelled out Abigail, and you see the media how they say he's heckling him. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that was a heckle. I think that was just an emotional outburst from a father who wants accountability for what happened in Afghanistan.
I put calling out. He called him out because he said murders are down under my administration, and then he yelled United States Marine Corps, and I'm surprised they actually pulled him out of the room, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, wow, they're taking somebody out because people were yelling to arrest him. The first thing Joe Biden should have done is after this was over, and be like, what was it? No, that's going to look bad for you. You know what I mean? So political strategy wise, he should have been like, no, that man is released tonight. Do not do that.
Right. I mean, it goes to show that he had all of these political talking point guests in the box, right? He was like, this lady's tried to get an abortion. This person's part of the union. But he doesn't have any of the family members of these Marines, right? And that's because this is one of the big flaws of his administration. This is one of their biggest failures that they have not been able to negotiate around. Mm-hmm. I mean, he really put service members in harm's way, and we're on the brink of, what did he say last night? We're going to put up a temporary port in Gaza. I mean, but no boots on the ground, just on the water. He is willing to sacrifice your children even and then lie about it, right? He's not willing to be honest about the dangers that he put service members into, and is willing to put them in again.
What did you guys think about the speech overall? Right now you got these Democrat pundits being like, he was strong. There was a video from Joe Scarborough from before the State of the Union that is getting roasted because he's like, this version of Joe Biden is the best version of Joe Biden